Guess I better get back to work on the display. So I managed to solve a few of the dilemmas I was having since the last video, but not all of them. And one thing I did was printed out a new plan sheet. The old one kind of got torn up after I accidentally glued it during landscaping. But I was having trouble with this area right here. The whole area was pretty much unknown as to what I wanted. Now I did have this crossing and the gravel road, but as for the surroundings, I didn't know what I wanted. But after playing around, doing some thinking, I decided this small area here, I want to put a cow pasture. And then this larger area here, which would actually be down this way more because the embankment's right here, there's going to be a garage slash shop in here. And if I go over this way, you can see kind of got a rough layout of how things are going to look. Of course, got the road coming through here, the gravel road. And then this is the cow pasture. And then right in here will be the garage or shop, whatever. And it's not going to be very large. It's probably only going to be about 4.5 inches deep. And in terms of width, probably 2 bays, maybe 3. But I can't make the structure too large, or I'm going to be going back into the embankment, and it's not going to leave a lot of room out here for the drives I want to put in. And I want to have a little place around here for this truck to park. And the one downside to what I'm doing, you know, with the shop is I'm going to have to build the building from scratch, and it's not that big of a deal. I've done buildings from scratch before, but in the limited amount of time I have to get it done, I definitely can't procrastinate on that project. But I mean, overall, this is just a rough idea of how it's going to look. May alter some things, or there might be some changes to the finished product, but I think it's a lot better than, you know, ending up with no idea on what I'm going to do here and just having nothingness. But in terms of this field over here, I did come up with somewhat of a solution for this. And I found some 1/64 scale corn stalks online. They are $60 for a pack of 300. Now, I think that'll pretty much do this field. The only problem is, as I mentioned in the last video, lack of funds. I do not have $60 right now. And if I do come up with $60, the question is, will I be able to purchase those corn stalks and have them at my door in time without having to work down to the last minute? I don't know. But another thing that got me thinking there is, if I can't get corn stalks, I may end up having to set this whole field up as if it's already been picked. So basically a little bit of cardboard and some toothpicks, and I can make it look like just the stubs of the corn stalks after the machine's gone through. Don't really want to go that route, but I might not have any choice if, you know, time and money, you know, don't permit me to do what I want. So with a little better of an idea of what I want to do on that side of the table, I can move on to putting the turf down. And I'm going to start with the median here, go all the way under the bridges and to the other side of the table there. I'm not going to bother with the front portion right now because I'm still, you know, working on the front here, but try to get this part done. And to do that, I'm going to be using this Woodland Scenics Fine Turf. This is green grass number T1345, and I've used this on other displays I've done in the past. You can pause the video and take a read of that if you want to. But I'm going to be putting this down with a glue mixture of glue and water. And before I do that, I want to go over here because I want to put in a crossover piece. So I don't want to put turf down where that's going to go. That's going to be gravel. So go ahead and draw that out first. Got everything off the table, and I'm just going to roughly mark out where I want this crossover to go. It doesn't have to be too large, because I pretty much just plan on using it for emergency vehicles. I'm not going to be running like any big trucks or anything across, but roughly mark out where it needs to go. Something like that. Maybe something like that. I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So there we go. It's good enough. Just, yep, have a ambulance crossover on that, or county mountie just sitting there waiting to bust somebody. Before I start putting the turf down, I just want to go ahead and mask off the roads, because I want to try to keep any turf or glue off so it gives the road a cleaner finish when I go to paint it. If there's any fine bits of, you know, turf or glue on the roads, it kind of gives it, makes it look as if I used textured spray paint basically. And I mean, there's plenty of texture in this roofing felt already, so. Alright, so I got everything masked off. 2 lanes up the top, masked off the road. Don't think I needed to mask off the tracks, but I did anyways. And, you know, there's the other 2 lanes up top there, also masked off. Now I'm going to start putting down regular glue like I've been using here. And this here is a 50-50 mix of glue and water, which will be applied after I get the glue down. For the time being, I'm just going to do this part right here up to where the crossover is, and then once the turf's down here, I'll go ahead and move on to the other side and down the embankment up the other side and to the other end of the table. But I'm going to start out here with my glue and just go ahead and pour some out. I'm going to kind of go a little thick on this. There's that. And I don't think I'm going to need that much of this glue water mixture, so just gonna a little bit of that. Just start brushing this around. And while I'm doing this, I want to bring up the YouTuber baremetalHW. I've been watching his videos for a while, and he actually did a couple videos within the last month on his method of building dioramas or displays, whatever you want to call them. But his displays were quite a bit smaller than what this is. I'm going to say they were about, I can't remember the exact measurements. I believe he said in the videos. But one of the displays he built was about I'm going to say maybe a 3-inch by 3-inch display. And basically it fit on his little turntable he had. But he made a display there. The smaller one he made to look like the edge of a field, and he had tractors set up on it, and it really looked good. And there was another one he did, which for you Mad Max fans out there, was a Mad Max display. And it was a little bit larger, and I got to say, all the little tricks he used on that were very impressive in my opinion. And I will go ahead and leave a link to those videos and his channel if you wish to check out his method. He uses, like this stage here to hold down turf and such, he uses Mod Podge, or Mod Pod, I think. I can't remember. But anyways, that's what he uses, and then once he gets that down, he goes ahead and puts another layer on, and he has to repeat a couple times to get everything covered. But this method here, I've found that a majority of it goes on first time. I've only had to go back and touch up a couple areas. Whoop. Almost brushed glue on where the crossover is going to be. Wasn't paying attention there. But yeah, again, if you haven't already, go head over to baremetalHW's channel. Check out his method. Like I said, I'll have all that in the description. So you can scroll down there once the video's over. But being that's going to take me, I don't know, like the next 20 years to do all this, I think we're going to do a time lapse. Alright, there's the turf down there, and go ahead and move over to the embankment here, down over there, and then up the other side to that side of the table. Okay, so that's all the turf down, or at least all the turf that I'm putting down at this time. And you can see there how it looks. I'm gonna have to wait probably overnight for the glue to dry, but then after that I can come back and sweep the excess turf off and see if I need to put another layer down or not. I just got to looking at this. I probably could have put turf here, but oh well. Anyways, being that I'll wait overnight for the glue to dry, I'll probably go ahead and end the video here, and we'll go ahead and pick up at this point in the next part. So see you in a bit.